point, I digress because you don't.
So basically, it's giving, tell me you've never thought for yourself without telling me you've never had a thought for yourself. Because you're regurgitating to me what these people told you without an ounce or a lick of proof, baby. I have 2 degrees, to be clear with you, baby. So I've been around this research game a long fucking time. That's how I know none of this shit don't make no fucking sense. That's how I know. Not because I'm ignorant of it, because I am so knowing of this shit that I actually put this shit through a thought process of what I seen with my human experience of the things that I've seen is possible, because I know they're fucking liars, and they got in your mind and say, oh, she's a conspiracy theorist. She's a conspiracy theorist. Because if you don't follow the line of the programming that they gave you in school, and if you don't believe the shit that they told you since you was a Liberty girl, then you must be a conspiracy theorist, even though none of that shit don't make sense as to why the fuck we got kidnapped from the island when they didn't colonize Africa into the 1800s, but let them tell it we was enslaved in the 1600s. So where the fuck did they get us from if they didn't even reach Africa to colonize it into the 1800s? Sweetie pie. Science is the educated guess. Science is a group of guesses. That's you doing an experiment and looking at it. That's how I know you've never looked at you've never looked up and one of these words you're saying. You just regurgitating some shit that you heard, baby. Please pull out your mind. Like, don't pull out no more books. Throw them books the fuck away. Pull out your mind and think for yourself as to some shit that makes sense. The motherfuckers that came on ship came through Ellis Island, and they still got the documents and the records. They don't got one slave ship that survived. These motherfuckers say slave ship was the thing that gave them the advantage that it gave them. They say they stole us from the island and brought us over here. So you mean to tell me slave ships was the most important thing to y'all and y'all don't have one? These motherfuckers got shrines and monuments of shit that they say happened 200, 300, 400 years ago, thousands of years ago, and they don't have no ship, not one ship that we can tour, not one, because this shit never happened. This shit never happened. The only way to get in your mind to convince you that you came from somewhere else so that you never fight for the place that you're supposed to be in because you think that you came from somewhere else, while the people that is from there keep telling you motherfuckers y'all ain't African. But you don't want to believe it because massa played in your head since you was a 3-year-old and you ain't never thought a day in your life for yourself. I can tell you ain't never thought a day in your life for yourself, and you gonna sit here and try to handle me because I think for myself, because I saw this shit, paid attention, put this shit together, and none of that shit don't make sense to me. None of that shit never happened, and you said at your own mouth that we can't prove any of this, that all this shit is just hearsay. But you will continue to try to make it like, oh, you so smart and you so important when you don't know shit. You just a bot.
Wisdom, the books, the literature, the studies, love.
And sweet baby, that was the entire point that I was making, love, is that all of this shit is hearsay. That was my point that I was making. So thank you for proving my point for me. All of these ologists that you mentioned, the archaeologists, the whatever that you mentioned, all those bitches are guessing. Those folks created a template of a lot of shit that didn't make sense, and then they created peer review so that they would all agree with the same shit. And if you go along and say some shit that they didn't approve of or that they didn't agree with, they gonna say that you are fucking stoned out of your marbles if you have a mind of your own. So what I'm telling you is, if you telling me that the minerals came from space, but you in fact saying that they found them on Earth, how did they come from space if you didn't find them in space, right? They found them on Earth to tell you what flew from space, right? And then we can't prove anybody ever went to space because they have movies, right? And the movies look so realistic that they can show you shit and say that it's history, and you think that shit really happened and it never did. Because that's just how good this shit is. Why would they not solidify the story that they're telling. But the point that I was making is that this is all hearsay. You don't know any of this shit to be true, just like you then regurgitated to me and said that. So that was the point that I was making. But you ate, though. For me, we ate together.